So I work with some really incredible teachers. And during the pandemic, we had a number of teachers that are just like amazing with technology. Myself being a little bit older, um, I'm not really loving the technology piece. I am at this point, it's September 2020, and I am going in several times a week. And even when I'm in, there are a lot of meetings that are still virtual. I am doing some face-to-face testing with very strict protocols on cleaning and use of like face masks, face shields, things like that, gloves. Um, but on top of everything else that teachers are doing as far as learning how to instruct in a virtual environment, or some might be live, some might be recorded, and there's a learning curve for, well, we're doing new curriculums, new tasks and activities for a virtual platform, which is an amazing learning curve. But I'm just amazed at how teachers are always so resilient and caring and work with me to dig deeper regarding students. So today I'm going to talk about Hanna and Aleshia. They are two special education teachers that actually work at two different schools. And we had a situation where we had a private evaluation for a girl who is a ninth grader, so new to a high school. And part of my job is to look at those results and help the teams at the school figure out how to interpret and use the information, and they're making decisions about, do we need more information, if so what do we need, things like that. And we use a software program to basically store important documents, confidential documents, things like that. And I happened to notice that it looked like the student had some testing last year, and we at the high school couldn't figure out where this information came from, because we didn't have a hard copy of a report. So like a week ago, I called over to the middle school where the girl went to school last year, and that's where Aleshia works. And she was just phenomenal about sharing information in a confidential way, of course, in a respectful way about the student, things that we needed to make sure we are watchful of in order to evaluate the student and make sure that we're providing good services for her as she transitions to high school and in this virtual environment. But I asked her about this information, like, is there, I don't know where the file is, and where, can you help me maybe figure this out? And she's like, oh, I'm going to check and see if we still have the file at the middle school, and I will let you know. And so then I was going back and forth a little bit between her and Hanna, who's at the high school, who was also just really concerned and caring about this student already. Had interactions through teaching with the student, and knew exactly who she was, and I mean in a good way, and wanted to make sure that we're all on board setting up the supports that the student needs to be successful. So Aleshia called me back today and told me that the student's file was still in fact at the middle school, and Hannah's going to take care of trying to get that sucked over to the high school. I really appreciate that. Aleshia does not have this student anymore and hasn't had this student in months, and yet she was happily willing to talk to me about the student and help me problem solve about this student, and gave me some information that we needed to know at the high school, and also has offered for the high school teacher to call her. So just the level of camaraderie. I've never met Aleshia in person. Again, Hanna is new this year, I actually did meet her in person once so far, and we've had lots of email and virtual contacts. And teachers get into teaching and education because they care about students. And I'm not sure that the public always understands that, especially if you don't have children in the schools. So I just wanted to make sure that I really pointed out again that there are so many wonderful teachers out there. Teachers and other educators are underpaid, especially when you look at salaries like of newscasters, athletes. I mean, educators are shaping children's lives for the rest of their lives, preparing them for careers, and just success in the world. So thank you, Aleshia and Hanna. I am very excited to have teams like this team to work with, because I really do feel that we are looking to do the best we can for each and every student. And there are so many, but it's nice to be reminded that a student is not just a number to us, that they are a human being and somebody's child, and who knows what that child's future holds, right? So thank you ladies for working with me on figuring out this mystery.